In 1984, Nike was just a struggling running shoe company about to make a desperate $2.5 million gamble on a rookie who flat out refused to wear their sneakers. If they failed, their entire basketball division was dead. Instead, they accidentally created a multi-billion-dollar cultural empire. And it only happened because of a relentless $5,000 a game NBA fine, and a mother who walked into a boardroom and demanded the impossible. This is the story of the most ridiculous gamble in sports history. To understand the magnitude of this deal, you have to understand exactly where the sneaker market stood in the early 1980s. Today, we look at Nike as an invincible global titan, bringing in over $50 billion a year. But back in 1984, the narrative was entirely different. Nike was known for one thing and one thing only: running. They were the guys who made lightweight track shoes. On the basketball court, Nike was practically invisible. The hardwood belonged to two massive giants, Converse and Adidas. Converse was the official shoe of the NBA. They had the biggest stars of the era, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Adidas, on the other hand, had the international prestige and the undeniable cool factor. Nike's basketball division was failing. They had a measly $250,000 marketing budget to distribute among several draft picks to try and stay relevant. The executives in Beaverton, Oregon, including co-founder Phil Knight, were staring down the barrel of a harsh reality. They needed a miracle, or they needed to exit the basketball business entirely. Enter Sonny Vaccaro. Vaccaro was a sports marketing executive and a relentless hustler who built his reputation running high school basketball tournaments. He wasn't a corporate suit, he was a guy who understood players, coaches, and the streets. Nike asked Vaccaro to find them a roster of solid players they could sign for cheap. But Vaccaro didn't want a roster. He looked at the 1984 NBA draft class, pointed at a skinny 21-year-old kid from the University of North Carolina, and told Nike to take their entire budget and bet it on him. That kid was Michael Jordan. There was just one massive, glaring problem with Vaccaro's grand master plan. Michael Jordan had absolutely zero interest in signing with Nike. Jordan was an Adidas guy through and through. He wore Converse in college because his legendary coach, Dean Smith, had a deal with them. But in his heart, Michael wanted the three stripes. When he was drafted 3rd overall by the Chicago Bulls, he flatly told his agent, David Falk, that he wouldn't even take a meeting with Nike. But David Falk was a visionary in his own right. Falk understood that Nike was desperate, and desperate companies are willing to do unprecedented things. Adidas was going through internal leadership struggles and offered Jordan a standard, uninspiring contract. Converse told Jordan they already had Magic and Bird, so they couldn't prioritize him. Falk knew Nike was the play. He coined the name Air Jordan, combining Nike's new air cushioning technology with Michael's gravity-defying playing style. But Michael still refused to get on the plane to Oregon. That's when Falk played his trump card. He called Michael's parents, specifically his mother, Dolores Jordan. Dolores was a force of nature. She didn't care about brand prestige or what looked cool in the locker room. She cared about respect, leverage, and her son's long-term future. She marched into Michael's room, looked him in the eye, and told him he was getting on that plane, and he was going to listen to what Nike had to say. When the Jordan family arrived at Nike headquarters, the company rolled out the red carpet. They showed him a highlight reel of his own plays set to the Pointer Sisters' song, Jump. They presented him with a shoe designed exclusively for him by creative director Peter Moore. But more importantly, they pitched a completely new philosophy. Until that moment, athletes were just mannequins used to sell a brand's equipment. Nike pitched a paradigm shift. They weren't going to fit Michael Jordan into the Nike brand. They were going to build an entirely new brand around Michael Jordan. Nike offered Jordan a 5-year contract worth $500,000 a year, totaling $2.5 million. To put that into perspective, The going rate for an NBA rookie endorsement at that time was around $100,000. Nike was offering more than triple the highest deal in the league. But even with that staggering number on the table, Jordan sat through the entire meeting with a blank expression. He barely smiled. He didn't flinch. When the meeting ended, his father famously leaned over and said, "You'd have to be a fool not to take this deal." Yet, the deal wasn't done. Because Dolores Jordan recognized something that the Nike executives hadn't fully grasped yet. She saw that Nike wasn't just paying for an endorsement, they were buying her son's identity to save their company. Dolores went back to Nike with a demand that would fundamentally alter the trajectory of sports business forever. She said the $2.5 million guarantee was great, but if Nike was going to build an entire line around Michael's name and likeness, Michael shouldn't just be an employee, he should be a partner. She demanded a percentage of the revenue. She wanted royalties. In 1984, this was considered absolutely ridiculous. Companies did not give equity-like revenue shares to rookies who hadn't played a single professional minute. But Vaccaro, Falk, and Nike executives realized they had pushed all their chips to the center of the table. They couldn't back out now. Nike agreed. They gave Jordan an estimated 5% royalty on every single pair of Air Jordans sold. To protect themselves from this massive financial risk, Nike put a few safety clauses in the contract. Jordan had to achieve one of the following within his first 3 years: win Rookie of the Year, average 20 points per game, become an All-Star, or sell $4 million worth of shoes. If he failed, Nike could terminate the deal. Spoiler alert, Michael Jordan crushed all of those clauses in his very first season. But before the shoes could even hit the shelves, a massive roadblock appeared that threatened to ruin everything. Or, as it turned out, make them incredibly rich. The NBA had a very strict uniform policy in the 1980s. A player's shoes had to be 51% white and match the rest of the team's footwear. When Nike designed the Air Jordan 1, they threw the rulebook in the trash. They designed a striking, aggressive shoe wrapped in the Chicago Bulls colors, black and red, with only 23% white. When Michael saw them, he reportedly joked, "I can't wear that shoe, those are the devil's colors." Nike immediately seized the narrative. They told Michael to keep wearing the shoes, and they paid every single fine. Then they shot a minimalist Genius commercial. The camera slowly panned down Michael Jordan's body, resting on the shoes. A stern voiceover played. On October 15th, Nike created a revolutionary new basketball shoe. On October 18th, the NBA threw them out of the game. Fortunately, the NBA can't stop you from wearing them. The public went absolutely rabid. The banned narrative created a frenzy. It became the ultimate status symbol, a shoe associated with rebellion, flight, and greatness. When the Air Jordan 1 officially released to the public in April 1985 at a price of $64.95, Nike's internal projection was to sell $3 million worth of shoes over the first 3 years. They were wrong. In the first 12 months alone, the Air Jordan 1 generated $126 million in sales. This single deal birthed modern sneaker culture and transformed Nike into a global titan. Because of that historic royalty clause, the Jordan brand now generates over $7 billion annually. Michael pulls in an estimated $300 million every single year, far more than his entire NBA career earnings. He became a billionaire and the ultimate blueprint for athlete entrepreneurs, all because a desperate company rolled the dice, and a mother refused to settle for a standard contract. The Air Jordan deal proves one thing: true wealth is about equity and leverage. Dolores Jordan knew her son's worth. Are you negotiating just for a salary, or are you fighting for equity? If you want more deep dives into the greatest business gambles that built billionaires, hit that subscribe button right now. Leave a comment down below. What brand do you think could pull off a deal like this today? Smash the like button, keep building your dream, and I'll see you in the next video.